The room that wasn't there. All right, man, so I gotta tell you about something weird that happened to me a few years ago. I don't really talk about it much because, well, it's pretty messed up. But since we're on the topic of creepy stuff, I figured I'd finally share it. So I used to live in this old apartment, right? Nothing fancy. It was cheap, close to work, and mostly quiet, which is all I really cared about at the time. I was living alone, had just moved to a new city, and I thought this place was perfect. It had this old-school charm, like the kind of place where your grandma probably lived in the 70s, with weird wallpaper and creaky floors. But whatever, I was on a budget. The first few months were cool. I settled in, got my routine down, and everything seemed pretty normal. The building was old, but nothing that freaked me out. At least not at first. One night, I'm lying in bed, just about to drift off, when I hear this thump. It was soft, but it was coming from the other side of my bedroom wall. Now, mind you, my bedroom wall was next to this tiny hallway closet, so I'm like, that's weird. I mean, it's late at night, and it's just me in the apartment. I figured maybe the neighbors were moving stuff around or something, so I brushed it off. But then it happened again. Thump. Thump. This time louder. Now I'm fully awake, right? I sit up in bed, listening, thinking maybe a pipe's loose or something. I tell myself it's no big deal, and I manage to fall asleep. A few days pass, nothing happens, and then one night, around 2 a.m., I hear it again. Thump, thump, thump. This time it's faster, more deliberate, like someone's knocking from the inside of the wall. It's weird, but I'm half asleep, so I just lie there trying to ignore it. But now, every night, it starts happening. Same time, same sound. I'm getting less and less sleep, man. I'm starting to get paranoid. I even asked my neighbors about it, like, hey, you guys hearing this knocking at night? They just looked at me like I was nuts. So, I figure maybe it's just the building settling, right? Old buildings do that. Then one night it got worse. I'm lying in bed and the thumping starts again, but this time, it sounds like it's coming from inside the closet. Like someone's tapping on the closet door from the other side. My heart is pounding, but I get up to check. I don't know why. Maybe to prove to myself that it's nothing. So I go over to the closet, open it, and nothing. It's empty. No sign of anything. At this point, I'm spooked, but I try to brush it off. You know how you try to convince yourself it's just your imagination? But then, one night, everything changed. It was around 3 a.m., and I woke up to this scratching sound, like nails on wood coming from the closet. And I swear, man, this time the door was moving. Just slightly, but enough for me to see. It was like someone was inside trying to get out. I'm freaking out, frozen in bed. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, and then I hear this whisper. Low, barely audible, but clear enough. It said, "Let me out." Dude, I'm not kidding. It was the creepiest voice I've ever heard, like right out of a horror movie. I jump out of bed, grab my phone, and just bolt out of the apartment. I didn't go back for 3 days. When I finally went back, I decided to check the closet again. I mean, I had to know, right? Maybe it was a rat or something. So I go over, open it up, and this time, there's something off. The back wall of the closet looked different, like it didn't match the rest of the apartment. I'm freaking out, but I decide to knock on it just to see if it's hollow or something. And guess what? It was. I could hear this echo behind it. I don't know what got into me, but I started pulling at the wall and it just came loose. Behind it was this small, hidden room, no bigger than a walk-in closet. It had this old, rotting chair in the middle, and the smell, dude, the smell was rancid, like something had died in there. I noped out of there so fast, but not before I noticed something else. On the walls there were these scratch marks, like someone had been trying to claw their way out. I moved out that same week. Didn't even care about getting my deposit back. I don't know who or what was in that room, but I wasn't sticking around to find out. And you know what? The weirdest part? I tried to look up the history of the building, but there's nothing. It's like that room wasn't even supposed to exist. So yeah, man, that's my creepy story. I still get chills thinking about it. But hey, at least I'm out of there, right?